This review is on the Moultrie Panoramic 150 trail camera. There's been a lot of hype on this trail camera, and you may have seen the commercials on TV where they claim it's like having 3 cameras on one tree. Well, the truth of it is, it really is like having 3 cameras on one tree. It's got 3 detection zones, 3 sensors here that will cover up to 150-degree field of view. I think in the end it doesn't quite come out to 150 degrees, but we'll let Moultrie slide on this one just because it still covers a lot of turf. The first thing I want to point out is the batteries. I wasn't really thrilled that they're C-size batteries, and it takes 6 of them. So it's a little pricey, but I understand why they had to do it. They had to get more power to operate. They got 2 moving parts to it. Just turn it on here real quick. The lens and the LED panel is going to pivot to whatever zone it detects motion. So if you have it set on single zone mode, if it detects motion over here, it's just going to come over here, take a photo. Panoramic mode, if it detects motion over here in this sensor, it's still going to take a picture in each zone and then stitch the image together to create one long panoramic photo. Some of the reviews I've read, guys give it bad ratings because it doesn't stitch the photos together right. Yeah, there's a little bit of an overlap. It doesn't stitch them together perfectly. So if there's a deer like right in line with that stitch, you might cut off half the deer. I don't personally see it being that big of a deal. I mean, more than likely you're going to get another photo of that deer at some point. That it doesn't matter. It could also, if the deer is walking fast enough to follow that lens, you could end up with 2-3 photos of that same deer. But again, I don't see that being a big deal at all. As you can see it spinning there when I put my hand up to this zone. I wouldn't really recommend setting this camera up over a feeder or a mineral station where you're just taking thousands of photos a week. You're just going to burn up batteries. I think this is more intended for a food plot where you can overlook a huge area to determine which way the deer are entering and exiting the fields, or even just on a trail to figure out which way they're going. But you'll burn batteries over a corn pile, and I think it's much more effective on a food plot. Some guys have complained that they can hear that lens spinning in there. I mean, if I lean in there, I can hear it a little bit, but it's not anything that's going to spook the deer. The deer can see that thing moving as well. I've had photos where you can tell they're kind of looking at it, but it doesn't bother the deer at all. So I really don't see that being any kind of issue. But I think this is a pretty good camera overall. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really neat to see so much at one time. It's just definitely worth taking a look at. It's a lot of fun.